What are you doing? You're doing live right now? Or are you
No.
Okay.
This is just recording,
Okay,
and
I don't
I'll throw it
wanna
up on
say anything
YouTube.
really
It's like a
weird.
pilot
You
episode.
can say whatever you want. It doesn't even matter. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Relentless Fitness Podcast. I'm Josh Hausman.
I am Chris Raby.
And I'm Alex Donley.
We have Alex with us today. Welcome to the podcast.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. So, for those of you that don't know, this is Alex Donley, owner of Gioias in the Hill and downtown. One of my clients for the past couple years. So, let's talk a little bit about your fitness history and fitness journey.
Okay.
Wait, I want to talk about sandwiches.
Okay, we
at
can
some
talk about
point.
that, yeah.
So we'll do
We
that
can
after
definitely-
the fitness.
We'll bounce back. Okay, let's start with sandwiches.
Let's give a little bit of Alex's background.
We can do the gist of Gioias.
Yeah.
Why I guess I'm credible.
Perfect.
We're a 99-year-old business. We've been around since 1918. We're a St. Louis institution. We won a James Beard Award last year, which is a big deal. This year we just got rated. New York Times just made us the sandwich of Missouri. So that's a
awesome.
big boy. And we have a food truck too that got whatever, the food truck. I hate the food truck, but
It was good for the start, though. Good for advertising.
no, it's great. The generator just went down, so I hate it. Right
At the
now.
moment, stressful.
Yeah, it was a 3-year life on the generator, and we made it 4 years with it. So
There you
it's
go.
fine.
Good to
and
go.
Then me and my wife own the place. I grew up in it. My family, I'm third generation of my family.
There you
So
go.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, making it work. No, that's
That's good.
awesome. That's super cool with the James Beard Award, and then also being in the the
New York Times. Yeah, that's this year. That's the big.
Wow.
Gotcha.
That was big,
But
yeah.
that's all both within the last 8 months?
2016. Yeah, basically
Yeah.
2007. Yeah, 8. Yeah, we found out about James Beard in February of this year, so it's all been this year.
That's
actually.
crazy.
It's a big year.
That's
It's a big
huge.
year for
You
Super huge.
You have recently opened a second location.
Yeah, we're downtown. Yeah, that's been going great. It's exactly what we want it to be. We're open 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, and we just sell out every day.
Yeah.
It's great. It's
That's
what
super
downtown's
great.
all about.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. That lunchtime crowd, man.
I'd love to open late downtown, but it's just not there yet. The population's not there yet.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think that's something that they're pushing towards, right? Kind of getting
Yeah.
that community
I think
down
so.
in that area.
Yeah.
It'll take a few years, but
yeah, we'll get there.
yeah, for sure. Awesome. So let's go to, like I was saying, the fitness journey. What brought you into the world of fitness?
Well, I was an athlete, like most people, and then in high school, I broke my back playing football, and that kind of ended my fitness.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh, I'm an athlete, I'll always be in shape. But I was basically a cardio junkie, and so I would either be fat or I'd be in cardio shape. I never really lifted,
Yeah.
because I really didn't know how without a coach telling me. And then when we had our daughter in 2014, and that was the big moment of realization, because I was holding her and I was like, my back was hurting me and I didn't really want to hold her, and I was out of shape. And once you have kids, you start realizing how important it is to be healthy.
Yeah.
Because they have such high energy, and if you're just working and then passing out, that's huge for that's not okay for your
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
So that's when I started with DNA.
Yeah, that's
That was-
awesome. That was,
that was-
2-3 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2000. No, she's 4 years old now.
Wow,
That's when we
4.
started. Yeah, can you
Jesus
believe
Christ,
that?
man!
And you
you're not
guys
tired
just-
of me yet?
No, yeah, you guys just came in the deli, and I was like, check you out, and I came in.
That's
And
awesome. Awesome.
And
Super
I got
cool.
my ass kicked.
Yeah,
Like
we can do that.
I remember I couldn't even walk after that. I was like, what am I doing? But I loved it. I
Yeah.
just kept coming back.
So, the big thing, something that I really wanted to talk about with you is about how this can change your life in a very stressful kind of lifestyle that you lead. And I'm sure 4 years ago, things are getting cranking with the business. You've got a kid, and life changes, and you're under tons and tons of stress. And then you tell most people, well, now you need to take an hour and devote it to working out. They're going to be like, screw that. What are the benefits? Why would you tell that person, hey, don't think like that. You need to go do this?
So it's funny you say that business ramped up, and then I started working out. In reality, we were pretty stagnant as a business. We were growing, but in 2000, whatever year that was that we started, 2013,
13,
I
I
think,
guess, yeah.
that's when I took control of my life, and
Awesome.
that's when everything changed. I was like, okay, I'm miserable. I work 12 hours a day and I'm exhausted. I need something. That's when I started exercising. That kind of was the thing that took control of my life. It became a cornerstone to relieve that stress. And so instead of being afraid of taking on more stress and more responsibility, the relief of the stress from working out made everything so easy. Yeah. Nothing is as hard as working out in the morning. Whatever you do the rest of the day, it's going to be easier than doing bear crawls with a sled tied to
or me dragging you down
this morning. Yeah. and that's you say that I ramped up and it was a stress relief, but in reality it kind of geared me up to start succeeding more. When that happened, Amanda started working out shortly after that, and Amanda lost all her baby weight in like 3 months doing that.
Yeah.
You guys started doing Olympic weightlifting with her, and she quit her job as an attorney and we started the food truck.
That's awesome.
It was literally working out that, and then by the end of the year, she quit her job.
Isn't it amazing how something that you've been putting off, that you think about every day, whether it's I got to get to the gym, I got to get to the gym, I got to get to the gym, whether it's I got to pay off this credit card, whether it's I got to get out of this relationship, or I got to do this, or I got to have this conversation. When you finally do it, it makes every other aspect of life easier, because it's not the thing that's constantly in the back of your mind all day, every day.
Taking up the headspace, yeah. And that's the thing. It's like once you take control of your life, and that's what we did with fitness. We did that with fitness, and we did that with our relationship with our daughter. We have 3 kids now, but that fatherhood was a huge thing for me. It's no longer about me wanting to go home after I worked all day and just crashing on the couch. When I worked out, I wasn't crashing anymore.
Yeah.
And when you don't crash and you create this foundation of fitness, and then you start eating better because you don't want to feel like shit while you're working out.
Exactly.
And all this stuff, then it's like, then opening 2 locations in a food truck in 2 years is a joke. That's not hard. What's hard is balancing your life out so that everything becomes easy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, that's awesome. And it gives you the ability to get home and play with your kids and have that energy and have that family time and not feel like you just like, stay away from me, child. I need to pass out for a while.
Yeah, stay away from me. And as most of the listeners know, when you have a kid, there's so much mobility involved with having a kid. You never actually sit on the couch.
Yeah.
You're always on the floor. You're picking them up, and that mobility is such a big part. And this is something I told Josh about being I have to be a champion for my employees. I have to be a champion for my daughter, for everybody is looking for me for the long game and steering the ship. With Josh is my champion, and that's what's nice about going into the gym, where it's not about me making sure everybody's okay. It's about Josh making sure I'm okay.
Exactly.
And that shift for me and Amanda is so important, and it's such a grounding effect. And so that's why coaching is so important to me. I couldn't do this on my own. Not saying people couldn't, but I couldn't.
And that's my next question too. Once you got in here, you developed that relationship, and then things started going better at home and with your business. How important now is the time, not only physically to get in here, but also, since stuff is crazy in a good way for you, to not be looking at your phone, not be answering emails, not be answering texts for that hour or that hour and a half.
I tell Josh this all the time. I judge my employees on the fact that everybody needs to be able to give me this hour that I work out, and they know this. They know I'm working out from 8 o'clock to 9:30. This is my time. And Josh,
I remember when that got locked in, man.
Yeah.
I remember you're like, this is happening now.
And when I don't get that hour and a half, I'm a totally different person. And also, if they're not respecting that, then they shouldn't be on my team. Because if they can't put that hour and a half off where they can problem solve to themselves, that's how me and Amanda structure our business on that. We want ownership, and we want people that can think on their feet, that instead of their first resort being calling me, it should be their last resort. And that's because instead of becoming the slave to my business, I became the owner of the business. And that was huge. So that shift, which came from fitness, before I worked on the line, I did that for 10 years. That's all I did was work. And I thought that's what work was. Well, no, there's a difference. Being an owner of a business is different than being a business that owns you.
Yeah.
So making that shift, and that's the workout. That's that freedom, and the fact that I can just sit here and do this. That's because of that shift in the way I think. and how important it is to me. The better I feel, the better all my businesses are going to do.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's absolutely the truth. And every single business owner that I network with says the same thing.
Yeah, and it definitely seems like, going through, like you say to me often, is swallowing the frog. How does that go?
Yeah, so if you eat a frog the first thing of the day, everything else is going to taste better.
Yeah,
So
and so that's the workout with me. You come in and
swallow the
start
frog.
off with that. And last time we talked about willpower and having that willpower and starting off strong and getting that hard thing out of the way, getting it done early so that the rest of your day is easier. And I think that we do that. We do well with that 3 times a week. Get it knocked out, and like you said, I can totally tell if we've had a week off that mentally the stress is just through the roof.
And I feel like a tree, like I feel really old and rickety, and it's
trapped in your body.
And then as the workout goes on, all that shell of stress just peels off.
Yeah.
Hearing how, as I have just started this process, because first time I walked in here was like January, February, and then I had to go out of town for 6 weeks, and then I came back
training.
and, developing. And I even said to Josh the other day, like, I've been coming in here for our sessions, but I got to get back to coming in on my own and, whether it's I've got some time to do cardio or this or that, and use it as time for myself, not just to work out, but to just make it a mental break as well. And once you do that, like you said, it's something that you really get excited about. You get excited about the time. It becomes something that is not just part of your day, but something that rubs off on everything else you're doing all day.
Because it's completely positive.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to tell you not to work out.
Yeah.
And it's like it's such a positive experience for everybody around you too. And you find out that everybody it's really gyms are intimidating, but then you find out that everybody just wants to see you do well.
Yeah.
And not only that, the first time I walked in here, you're so self-conscious and everything.
Absolutely.
But then you realize not only does everyone want to see you do well, but everyone is focused on themselves. They're using that time for themselves, so nobody's really paying attention to what you're doing.
Yeah.
No one gives a crap.
Yeah.
about what
So
you do.
that was
As
a
long as you're not
very
hurting yourself.
that was
Yeah.
a comforting thing to wrap my head
Absolutely.
around as well.
And that's what all the guys that are in here every day, that it's a ritual. You can tell, like, they need this.
Yep.
And
We talk about that often. The people that we see in here that are like every single day, the same guys in here at the
Same
same
time,
time,
yeah.
in here with his buddies killing it,
Yeah.
And that's what it takes.
And it's cool to see people that are new and then the transformation and that stick with it, because you see a lot of new people and they leave. But then that transformation that happens is so gratifying to see.
Yeah.
I mean, because when we're working out, we're everywhere.
Yeah.
We're on the treadmills, and so I get to see everybody and just see them all. It's kind of neat. Like the cave, it's cool.
Something really cool. Shout out to Jason. He was in here this morning at 6 a.m. The guy came up to him and was like, "Dude, you're killing it." Like, I've been watching, because it's one of the regulars. He was here and for everyone, talking about how everyone is nice and welcoming here. For real, they're really nice and welcoming. One of the regular guys went up to Jason and was like, "Dude, you're crushing it. I've seen you change so much in the last
That's
year.
cool.
It's amazing." And in most gyms, you don't often see that, where people will come up. That's what I love about this
And he's
gym.
probably
The
walking
community's
around
great.
with a little strut then, thinking
Oh,
that
yeah.
It's a much
people are
easier
noticing
workout
it.
when
Yeah,
people
that's
notice.
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, Amanda told me today she was getting changed or something in the locker room, and the woman that works out with us around us a lot is like, "Man, you look great."
Yeah.
Because Amanda has had 3 kids. And Josh has made her lose all the weight every time, and so the transformation is so easy with that, because it's like a 6-month transformation.
It's super cool to see it. Same thing with Katie and Amanda. They're both pretty much back to pre-pregnancy.
You could
It's
do
crazy.
a podcast just on that, because of the getting back on the horse after having kids.
Yeah.
Because you've worked out how many women
I
that
had 4 in a row, 2-month gaps
that were
between all of
pregnant,
them.
and
They were all
then
pregnant.
it's something
and
you
then
put in
through
the
it.
water.
Yeah.
And then
I
they get fit.
Yeah.
And it's so important for them.
Well, and then especially with someone like Katie talking about the difference between her first pregnancy versus her second, with fitness in her life, and how much quicker things like snap back, and how you felt, and how her back wasn't hurting all the time, stuff like that. It's huge. A lot of
She was
people are
on
scared
bed
to work
rest
out.
after 6 months. And
Exactly.
Then with this workout, and then with Lucy, it's like nothing.
Yeah.
That's what she said, at least.
Yeah. No, I saw it. Like, it was like nothing. I was like, well, we should just chill out a little longer. And she's like, I'm ready to rock and roll.
That's what. And Amanda's first labor before we were working out with you guys was 26 hours. Lou, we got to the hospital at 10:31. We had him at 10:35.
Yeah.
So,
There you go.
yeah, she was
Broke it down to 4 minutes.
it's all core strength. Obviously, having another kid, but still, I mean, and she was fine. Like, she was working back out in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
She was biting her nails to work out. Like, she was
up and about.
She was waiting to work out. Like, she wanted to.
Yep.
Where with Rose, it's like scary. I mean, I think she waited till almost 4 months.
Yep.
That was when we first started with you, because
Yep.
it was after Thanksgiving.
A lot of the time, it's just kind of getting yourself to be comfortable with that idea, because so many people will tell you conflicting things as far as working out with pregnancy and stuff.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
From
gets
what
a-
I found,
she's
it's a
got
lot
release.
of listening to your body. Listen to your body. Listen to how you feel.
I'll tell you what, I know my body now, and I didn't know my body 4 years ago. I know when I'm in pain, it's not because I'm injured, it's because I need to stretch my quads out, and that's all from you guys. Like, you guys are like physical therapists too, where it's like, man, my lower back's hurting. Well, have you stretched out your hamstrings? It's like, no. It's like, well, then stretch out your hamstrings.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff that you feel, and especially working long days, like when we first started the food truck, working those 12-hour days, we're lifting stuff. You feel your body, and you're so much stronger and balanced, and there's so many things that I was always strong, but now I'm like, I can be strong for 12 hours. I'm just not strong for 30 minutes, and then I got to go watch Netflix on the couch all day.
Yeah.
We don't even watch TV anymore, because we come home, we work out, we work all day, come home, and we take the kids on a walk.
Yeah.
Like, we're parents. Like,
Yeah.
we're present.
And you have energy.
We have energy. There's no issues. Like, none. And then we sleep. I sleep 9 hours a night,
Awesome.
as long as the kids are sleeping.
As long as they allow.
Which is-
So with you guys both starting your fitness journeys within the last few years, is there any advice that you would give someone, something quick that's on the edge, or someone that's in a high stress situation that needs an